But from what I saw, you see, you don't win elections on sentiments. And you don't win elections on popularities in the social media, just like you have media trials. Trials actually reside in the law courts and the decision and opinions of the judge or judges. And that is exactly what election is all about. Election is all a game of numbers. And actually, you need to build. Agreed, one of the candidates is very popular among youth and all the rest. He just come and he put up a spectacular showing. Let me tell you, when you're talking of the history of elections in this country, for you to win an election in this country, out of the 6 geopolitical zones, you must win at least 3. Convincingly, go and take a census of past elections and how people won elections. You must win at least 3 zones out of the 6 zones convincingly. So, like I said, you don't win elections by popularity. He's very, very popular amongst the youth demographic and some who are discontented. But don't forget that there are a lot of variables that will contribute to your electoral victory. It's not just popularity alone. Yes, one of the popular variable that still plays a dominant role to determine who wins the election in this country is money, is wealth. And that is the truth. Let me tell you, money or wealth is still the vehicle to which people, win elections of power in this country. And that is the truth. It is not the ideology of parties. It is not the competence or capacity of individuals. Far from it. Money still plays a vital and central role in elections in this country. And that is what some of us are actually fighting that, look, that should be a thing of the past. You heard of various ways of how people actually bought votes. Yes, they bought votes in cash and in kind. I agree there is cash scarcity. People imagine that the Naira redesign was aimed at curbing that. So Nigeria suffered, there was anguish even up till now. You can't access more than 2,000 if it is available in your own of your own funds in your bank. And yet the elections have flagged up. But people still bought elections. There were transfers, there were online transfers. People bought wrappers, people, food items. For me, the scarcity of Naira even made more Nigerians vulnerable to be purchased, for their consciences to be purchased. And that is the truth, because I was in field, I saw. And so, outside that, let me tell you, my brother, religion still plays a major role. Primordial interest still plays a major role. Ethnicity still plays a major role. And that is the truth. And that's why I say popularity alone, outside other variables, will not win election for you. The young man has tried, he's at the tribunal, at the Supreme Court. What personally I advocate is like, he should, from now, begin to prepare, like they do for Olympics and the World Football Mundial, the FIFA World Cup. Begin to prepare for 2027. Begin to consolidate. Gather a very formidable team of intellectuals, analysts, and then sit down at the round table to look at events and issues as it happened, what played out, and then pick out valuable lessons, and then use that to plan for 2027. Like I said, you need to reach out, you need to build bridges, and that is the truth. Build bridges, establish concretely these bridges, and reach out to persons across the country. There are 36 states, including FCT. So you need to reach out.
Thank you so much for that. All right. You said a lot of interesting things, and I would like you to expand on some of them. One is that, of course, anyway, you already responded to the fact that the system needs to change. That is what the Nigerian people actually wanted. We needed a change of the old order because it's no longer serving the people. But I have a question based on the mere common sense, which is usually when we vote in or we vote out. We vote in somebody or a party because we believe that they are going to do something good for us. And we vote out a political party or a candidate because we believe that they have done poorly or they cannot do something good for us. In Nigeria, in your intro, you did say that in the country today, 2023, today is the 23rd of March. Everything in Nigeria has become scarce. And this was even before the election. And this is the ruling party in Nigeria is APC, which means that if the Nigerian people are thinking at all, they understand what they are going through, they must be deciding whether they want this political party or the system they have created to continue, or they need a change of hand. This is what they have in their mind by going to the election, just by thinking rationally. Why would they vote this same party that is, by voting this party and this candidate, meaning that they want the system to continue? I am just thinking, can we even reason like this? That perhaps that is not what the people actually wanted? That they didn't go to vote the same system to remain in power?
Thank you. I quite, it's like I touched on that in spite of all that has happened, personally, that is, I mentioned a while, say there's angst, after the elections and the declaration of the winner. Because it was like people would say the election didn't go our way. The election didn't go your way. The question is you complaining, how did you vote? You understand? I did mention some other variables that still plays major role in this country. Religion, ethnicity, primordial interests, of course, wealth, all of this plays roles. And then there's what we call incumbency factor. An average Nigerian wants to tell, I don't want to be in the opposition. That is his belief. I don't want to be in the opposition, so let me just vote the party that is at the center. That is why you discover that before now, the presidential election used to hold, be the second to hold. Gubernatorial will hold, State House of Assembly to hold, and after that. So people just imagine that once the presidential election holds, there's going to be a bandwagon effect. It happened in 1983 between the UPN and the NPN. Let me not go into that. So I want to let you know, my brother, that, like I said, if you look at the pattern of both of the three leading candidates, APC, PDP, and LP, you see all of them, they had their strongholds. Let me start with the Labour Party, for example. The Labour Party had a spectacular showing in the Southeast and the South, and the South-South. They cleared these two zones. But how was their performance in the Southwest? Outside of Lagos, that is cosmopolitan, that is metropolitan in nature. That is where the Labour Party actually performed. They outperformed the presidential candidate of the APC. That is supposed to be a stronghold, because since 1999, the progressives, though on different political platforms, AD, ACN, just like that, to APC, have held that place since 1999. But at the presidential election, Ahmed Bola Tinubu was humbled by the Labour Party. But outside that of Lagos, if you go to North Central, there was a good showing in Plateau, Benue, and a little of Taraba. Now, I want to ask you, if you look at the South-South, that's the South-South and the Southeast, and the two states are mentioned in the North Central, they are dominated by Christians. True or false? They are dominated by Christians. So what does that tell you? That these persons voted along religious and ethnic lines. In Lagos, like it's metropolitan and cosmopolitan, it's like when they say Lagos is no man's land. The strangers in Lagos, when I mean the non-indigenous in Lagos, are more than the original settlers. And that is a fact. And don't forget that an average Igbo man is commerce-based, is a businessman, is a trader. So there is nowhere. That's why you hear this, saying that any community where you don't have an Igbo man, be wary of that community. So they are there in large drove in numbers because they are commercially oriented. Now, when you go to the northwest and northeast, for example, what was the performance of Labour Party? And then let us come to PDP. PDP had a spectacular showing in northeast. Northwest, a little of it. Southwest, look at it. South-South, no way. Southeast, no way. Let me tell you that in 2015, when some parties came together, they saw PDP as a behemoth, that you need a coalition to actually confront it. And that was exactly what happened. That was why they were able to unseat the ruling party that has ruled for 16 years. And then they drowned them.